Hello everyone and welcome to another video here on the Cycling Dane X channel, or if you're listening on the Cycling Dane podcast. We continue our voyage of the Vuelta España 2025, and stage 12 takes the riders on a 144.9 kilometer journey from the Cantabrian coast to Larendo into the rugged inland terrain of Cantabria, finishing in Los Correlas de Vuelta. Don't be fooled by the relatively short distance. The stage is full of climbing, and with nearly 2,400 meters of elevation gain and two significant mountains, that could well change the general classification as well, potentially. The day begins in Laredo, a town best known for its long sandy beaches and fishing tradition, but also familiar to La Vuelta España, as it last hosted a start in 2021 after a flat run along the coast and through the valley. The riders will face their first major obstacle not that far into the race, the Puerto de Alisas. This climb comes early after about 33 kilometers of racing. It's 8.6 kilometers in length at 5.8% gradient, a steady second cat climb that averages moderate gradients but with ramps that rise above 10%. The peloton will likely see the breakaway of the day form here, as teams of opportunists fight to get a man up the road, and plenty of teams have not tasted success in this year's Vuelta. I'm looking at you, Movistar. The riders will reach the top, which is at 670 meters altitude above sea level. The riders have covered less than a third of the stage, meaning it's a long way to go even after that first big effort from them. From there, the riders dive into a rolling middle section, and over the next 60 kilometers, the riders will encounter an endless string of small hills and undulating terrain, constantly forcing changes in rhythm, which will be much to the annoyance of some riders. This is the kind of road that wears on the legs, not long enough to blow the race apart, but certainly enough to sap energy, especially coming after the brutal climbing of stage 11 around Bilbao. The second act of this stage really kicks in after 100 kilometers, where the peloton Los Correlas de Vuelta for the first time, passing the finish line before heading back into the mountains. The intermediate sprint is placed here, but most will already be thinking ahead. What's next? The fearsome Colada de Brenes. This climb is the undisputed centerpiece of stage 12. On paper, it's 7 kilometers at 7.9%, but the profile tells the real story. This is a savage ascent with ramps up to 16% in the opening kilometer and further sections of 15% around 4 kilometers in. The gradient fluctuates constantly. 1 kilometer is 10%, the next eases into 6%, only to kick back up again. It's the type of climb where pure climbers thrive, and where those not on their best day can truly crack spectacularly. From the top, the riders face a fast and technical descent before rejoining the undulating valley roads. What makes the finale intriguing is that the run into Los Correlas de Vuelta, unlike many mountain stages, the race doesn't finish on the summit. Instead, the final 5 kilometers are slightly downhill. This opens the door for several tactical scenarios. A solo climber who attacks on their final climb but must maintain their gap all the way to the finish, while chasers in small groups could organize and use the fast final rows to bring them back as well. Conversely, punchy finishers who survive the vicious final climb might see this as a rare opportunity to outsprint pure climbers after such a hard day as well. Los Correlas de Vuelta itself last appeared in the Vuelta España 9 years ago, though as a stage start rather than a finish. This time the town will crown a winner, and given the parcours, it's unlikely to be a pure sprinter. Expect either a breakaway rider with strong climbing legs, and probably from UAE team Emirates, seeing how we've seen the last few mountain stages go, and maybe we could see a GC rider trying to take a victory here. With 10, 6 and 4 seconds available as usual on the finish line, with another 6, 4 and 2 available on top of the Brenes climb, time gaps are certainly going to appear. The combination of an early big climb, endless mid-stage rolling terrain, and a brutal summit followed by a fast run to the line makes this stage a perfect launch pad for GC drama. In short, stage 12 isn't the longest, but it's packed with intensity. The Colada de Brenes is steep enough to create real damage, while the downhill finale guarantees a thrilling and tactical fight for the line. It's a day where we're likely to see both the breakaway hunters and the GC favourites locked in a battle for different goals. It could well and truly reshape some parts of the overall standings in this second week. But anyways, we might as well hear what Patrick had to say about this stage in our preview show before the Vuelta a España started.
Stage 12, Laredo to Los Carreras de Buelna. This is 2 climbs in here. The Puerto de Alsace, which is 8.3 k's at 6%. Then quite a lot of flat with some little bumps in there. And then the Colada de Brenes, 6.6 kilometers at 8.3%. From the crest of there is 25 kilometers to go, but 10 kilometers of that is going to be flat, so it would be quite interesting to see whether any GC contenders take a little bit of a fancy to that to try and put some hurt on, because 6.6 k's at 8.3% is no mean feat.
Of course, with predictions as a profile like this, Tom Pidcock obviously is someone we're going to think about with that tactical prowess he has on a descent, and obviously he's also a very good puncher as well, so maybe he could win the stage if he comes to a scenario where he is there in a small group. But let's not forget, he's only won 1 Grand Tour stage to date, so he really needs to put another few numbers on the board for his own palmares. We also have Jonas Vingegaard, who we have seen been very successful on this kind of profile before in El Gran Camino and in Tirreno Adriatico in 2024. He looked imperious on this kind of terrain, good on the descents and good on the climbs as well. So we will see if he's wanting to do something here as well. They might all be thinking about the biggest stages to come as well. The Angliru is coming on stage 13, so that is probably also in the back of the riders' heads that they want to try and do something. But if it is left up to a breakaway, for sure we will see U18 members trying to get in the mix. They've been very successful so far with Jay Vine as well. Jay Vine the most successful, and Juan Ayuso now being a bit of a loose cannon in a way, because he's not really got any expectation from the team potentially of working. Could maybe try and get into this breakaway as well and win. The Mountains jersey is also up for grabs as well, so there'll be riders up here as well. Ineos Grenadiers, Movistar, really want to see them trying to get involved. Pablo Castillo coming very close to the victory on stage 10, but could he potentially do it here again? There's so many opportunities on this stage for anyone who's got legs, but we are in the second week of the Vuelta a España, so maybe some of them might be feeling the pinch. I don't think the GC riders are going to go for this all out. I could be wrong, but with the Angliru coming up the next stage, I think everyone will be wary about that, and this is going to be a perfect opportunity for a breakaway. Anyways, with that, that's basically it for this video. Make sure to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and why not check out our latest episode of Transfer Talks as well, available here on the channel. But for now, thank you for watching, and I will see you tomorrow.